Hey bookish friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is actually part 2 to a video I made a year ago, and that is we are going to be talking about the books that self-destructed. A year ago, I took on a challenge and made a journal page for this thing where you choose books that you don't feel like you're going to read or you feel like have been sitting on your shelf for way too long. And if you don't read them within that year, these books will self-destruct. Obviously, it's not in a literal way. What is going to happen with those books is typically you will sell them or you will donate them or whatever just to get them off of your shelves. So today we are going to look back at those, see how I did, not well, and we're going to talk about what happened with this challenge. This is my journal page for it from last year. As you can see, the books that I selected are The Earth Hums in B Flat by Mari Strachan, Life on Planet Earth by Andy Gorman, The Double Affair by Fiona Buckley, A Gracious Plenty by Sherry Reynolds, Promise by Judy Young, Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa, and The Gloom Between Stars by Piper CJ. So here's what happened, and I'm going to split up into 3 categories here. These first ones are books that I already offloaded before this challenge ended. For The Double Affair by Fiona Buckley, A Gracious Plenty by Sherry Reynolds, Promise by Judy Young, and Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa, I probably should have held on to them for today so that way they can self-destruct. But throughout 2025, I realized that I'm never going to read those books. So I did donate those books before today's video. 3 of those books I got from the library for like 25 cents each. And then the last one I got from my sister-in-law when she was getting rid of books. So I don't feel like there was any like harm done in me not reading those. But I didn't feel like holding on to them. It felt like too much pressure to do so just for this challenge. So I just got rid of those books entirely. In good news, but also kind of bad news, I read one of those books from that challenge, which is the Piper CJ one, The Gloom Between Stars. If you recall from the first video, which was a year ago, so it's okay if you don't, I had book 3 of this series on my shelf for a really long time because we didn't realize that it was the 3rd book in the series when we bought it. And so I didn't want to keep it on my shelf anymore. I figured if I don't get books 1 and 2, then it's just time to get rid of that book. I think obviously, besides the fact that I read it, this is the only book that was on my list that I actually felt any interest to read. So this challenge did help me in getting to that book finally. Okay, in terms of those books, books 1 and 2 I actually did really like, and I thought it was going to be like one of my favorite series ever, and I was like, I'm so glad I actually got to this. I hated book 3, which personal opinion and all that, but I feel like maybe I should have gotten rid of it. Maybe books 1 and 2 is where I should have stopped, and I didn't. So yeah, that's that story for me. Moving on. That leaves 3 more books that have self-destructed, and I have a lot to tell you guys about those ones, but let's start with which books they are. For The Earth Hums in B Flat, Red, White, and Royal Blue, and Life on Planet Earth, I actually am not going to get rid of those books. I know the whole point of this challenge is to push myself to read those books, and if they are not going to be read, to get those off of my shelves. And so I failed the challenge in itself. Honestly, I just don't feel like this challenge worked well for me. I was really easily influenced when I saw someone else doing this challenge and didn't really think about my circumstances versus theirs, and it's just not a challenge that works for me specifically. Let's discuss why. I'm pretty new to the bookish life. These are my only 2 shelves. I have some more books, but they are under my bed, and those are all books that I've read. So are all these ones. This is basically my only shelf of unread books, meaning I do not have that many books to read. And the person that I had seen do this, that influenced me to do this, they are not new to the bookish life. They have rows of shelves too, and that makes it sound like they have a library. Anyways, they have a lot more shelves, they have a lot more books, they are more ingrained in the bookish life. I started my bookish journey on here about 2 years ago, so I haven't had that much time to read all the books that I want to be doing. I haven't read all the popular books that everyone posts about, and I don't want to get spoiled for it. These are the people that I saw do this, it is people that have had that time to read all the books that they want to read and that they love. Obviously, books are always coming out and you're always going to want to read more books, but I just feel like they had the knowledge to know what books they would get rid of, whether it's important enough to them to read that before the end of the year, all of that stuff. Whereas to me, I'm still wanting to read only what I just got new, things like that, new releases and arcs and things like that. So I just don't feel like I was at the right place to do this challenge. That being said, the reason these are not self-destructing is because I do have some sort of interest in reading these books at one point or another. The sci-fi one, Life on Planet Earth, I did buy going into hoping I would get into sci-fi books, and I have recently read a few more sci-fi books that I do love. So I feel like I should give this book a chance and read another sci-fi book that I might end up loving a lot. Red, White, and Royal Blue, I am not a big fan of romance, hence why I was going to get rid of it, but I bought it at one point because when I was in high school and things like that, I did really like romance books. So I do want to give it a try, hope that maybe it will light that spark of what I used to love when I was younger. Basically, what I'm saying is there is a possibility of me reading those 3 books in the future. And since I do only have this shelf, I do not have infinite possibilities of what I want to read or what I can read. And it doesn't seem reasonable to me to get rid of books that I might in the future want to read anyways, despite getting rid of it. So basically, I failed this challenge and I'm okay with that. I want to stick to what's right for me. And even if that means failing on something that I set out to do, I think this is the right decision for me to keep those books for now, in hopes that I will again pick them up. Honestly, what I've learned from this is just that not all challenges are for everyone. I feel like I jump onto the bandwagon of different challenges because it just seems so fun and it seems like something to push yourself. And sometimes you don't need to be pushed. Sometimes you just need to do what feels right for you and what you want to read, and don't put all that pressure on you. And it's taken me a while to figure things like that out, and I'm glad that I stuck to what feels right for me for this one. And I hope that if you're seeing this and you are doing a challenge that doesn't feel right for you, then to just stop. Don't put pressure on yourself. Don't worry yourself. That's really what I want to say, and I hope that that does help you feel better about that, because it's all about what's right for you and not what everyone else is doing. And there you have it. Those are my books that self-destructed, or I guess in the opposite sense, it did not self-destruct. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't the most fun one, but it is honest, and I strive to do that for you guys, be as me as I can be. So it felt important to make. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you want to get notified for my next bookish post. And as always, leave a comment down below any books you'd like to see me tackle next or challenges you want me to try. I'm always looking for another thing to do, even though sometimes I will quit them. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy reading.